FSD unsupervised is coming to a town near you, assuming you live near Austin. And if you don't, well, we've got some other markets that are expecting to get it pretty soon. Well, what if you have a Tesla? What if you already purchased FSD? What if you purchased it years ago? When will your car be unsupervised? And when will it be able to be added to the Tesla driverless network? Let's figure it out. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza. Buddy Herbert here, as I so often do twice a week. He's kind enough to give me some of his brilliance, and I appreciate getting brighter with him. Thank you, Herbert.
Thank you, Brian.
Anyway, Anyway, this is a question I've heard. I've sat at dinners with Tesla content creators where we all nerd out and talk about things that excite us. And I've seen people say, oh, I can't wait to make money with FSD. It's basically solved. And one prominent Tesla YouTuber said, stop, let me ask you this. Will my car be a Robotaxi this year? Well, and that starts a whole new debate. And it's an honest question to ask. I believe they can run the network in Austin as described. I believe that the ratio of cars to supervisors, remote supervisors, will be reasonable, but maybe cost prohibitive for a fleet-wide rollout today. That could change very quickly. When will you and I be able to put our cars out and make money?
Okay, well, so that's a big question, of course. We're talking Austin. Are we talking cities, our cities?
Let's start with Austin.
Yeah.
When can people we know in Austin put their car on the Robotaxi network?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen in 2026. It may not even happen in 2027. But okay, let's break it down, right? So you've got number one, you need the cars that are capable of doing this. And I believe they're all capable of doing this for sure. Now, even the hardware 3s, I still believe that they can do it. Now, Elon already said, well, we're going to replace those AI3 chips into AI4. And so that takes time if you are going to put that in. Let's say you have an AI4 car. Can you put it into the network? What would you need? You would need to have automated cleaning set up by that point. Because one of the patents that Tesla had launched was this idea that as a consumer, I add my car into the network. It first has to go to some sort of cleaning. Then after it's cleaned, it goes and picks up people. Then it comes home to you and you go, I want it home by dinner time, so drive me home from work. It needs to go to cleaning to get to you. So in order for them to do that, do you need to have cleaning? And I think that, it's like somebody has to clean it. And so maybe they'll go to service centers. Service centers will do some sort of cleaning. But remember, it's my car. So it's not this easy cybercab, 10 minutes and it's done. This might take 20, 30 minutes to get this thing cleaned. They can't have like needles in there, right? Heroin, like these drug paraphernalia. You can't have weird things in there. It's got to be cleaned. If you're an Uber driver, this is your car, you're in it, and you clean it yourself. So you take it out and you become an Uber driver for the day, you come home and you take care of it. But if it's, I'm putting it in and it's automated, it's got to be there. So I don't think that that's going to be ready until 2027. That's one example, I think.
Now, what if in the early days they let you, like with Turo, clean it yourself?
Yep.
Then would that change the timeline?
Yeah, so obviously it's all about dollars. So some people will go, oh my God, I don't want to clean it. But if I'm still having to clean it, but I'm going to make $100,
right?
I'll send it out. Sure. That's fine. So I think that's possible. So it's a technology there. I do believe that by the end of 2026, the tech is there, meaning my car with my AI4 can do Robotaxi. They're using existing Model Ys. They're using a new version of FSD, though. I think let's call it version 14. That will come. That's easily to come by next year. And then imagine how good that would be by the end of next year. And
Sure.
so right now, Elon has said, right? He said that by the end of next year, that's when you can put in your car.
Hmm.
Let's give him the fact that that is an exaggerated timeline. And I still think it won't happen 2026. But imagine where the FSD will be by the end of next year. It will be
Well,
ready.
yes. And my concern with that is the end of next year is his second favorite time frame, only behind 2 weeks. Uh,
Yes, yes, yes.
and both are historically
I'd
equally.
be shocked if it wasn't happening by the end of next year. That's his term. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's shocked a lot. Maybe that's what's going on. I hadn't considered it that way. What are we going to see a bunch of public service announcements that say it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your Tesla is? I kid. That's not a serious question, but in the comments, is it? Is that a real question? Uh, so
I think
the
the tech will
difference,
be there. The app is there. The tech will be there. It really is just more the operational scenario that needs to be put in place. Um,
the
and then,
difference.
the other thing with the tech being there is like you could say that my cars, when I add it in, it will only go into these geographies, and it's not going
Mhm.
to go to the next city
Right,
down.
right,
It's only going to stay with
yeah.
these geographies.
And the network can easily do that because the rider puts in their destination. And if you try to change your destination, it would say, I'm sorry, this car doesn't go that far.
Yeah.
Uh, And that's not something that would surprise riders, especially if they're going a distance that could require more than 20%, 30% of a battery. So then the difference between the Model Ys being used as robotaxis today and the majority of Teslas is that it has a bumper cam. Now the
Mhm.
new S and X have a bumper cam. The Cybertruck has a bumper cam. The Model 3 almost had a bumper cam. We saw early release models
Mhm.
that had one and then it didn't. Um, I'm going to tell you what I think that bumper cam is for, and you tell me your thoughts. And in the
Mhm.
comments, I want to hear your thoughts on what it's for. It's to get out of a parking spot. Because a lot of times when I navigate from a parking spot, it says object detected in path. There's no object. It just can't see over its nose to know if there's a cat or nails or some sort of obstacle that it wasn't paying attention to 6 hours ago when I parked. Thoughts on that?
Yes, of course it is, but it's also for FSD. So we saw language in the description of the new Model S and X. When those
Hmm.
release, it has a bumper cam, and in that description, it said it will also be used for FSD. And
Hmm.
we've already seen the field of view is truly 180 degrees.
So
And
when you
so,
get your nose 2 inches into the road, you can see traffic in both directions.
I mean, it's I've heard that it is 180. I don't know exactly what, but it's wider view than people have realized. You know
Hmm.
how they've increased this software update, and now in the rear, all of a sudden you can see wider view. These cameras
Yes.
see more than you think that they do.
Yes.
They just let you have that new wider view now, and I think that that's what it's for. So, again, this argument that people have, oh no, your Model 3, it's never going to be. Yeah, maybe. But how much would it cost to upfit it with a new front bumper cam and to upfit it with a new model AI4? So when you decide to put your car into the network, they'll say, okay, we'll need to service your car before we put in. We'll put this in. It costs you or cost us $3,000, or we'll share the cost or something like that. You know what I mean? And the cost will be amortized based on what the right word is. As you put it into the network and it's making you money, it pays for the cost. 2, 3 grand will be paid off pretty quickly in short order. Um, so yeah, I'm not worried. I think that that's he promised it, so it's one of those things that he actually said in the last earnings call, didn't he? He said that it's a good thing that not everybody bought FSD because anybody who bought FSD, we will take care of you.
Yes. And to the people asking, why can't I get my upgrade now? My answer is we don't know what the upgrade required will be until it is entirely solved. And then we can work backwards and determine the actual minimum requirements. Maybe you need one 4K camera. Maybe you don't need any. Maybe you don't need the bumper camera. Maybe we probably do. But and I would not be surprised to find that hardware 3 compute is sufficient, but we don't know
Exactly.
yet.
Yeah.
And it would be crazy to upgrade before you know what you need.
at the line earning call, Ashok Swami was responding saying, we're working on making hardware 3 be able to have more of the code into that, be able to handle the inference that's required to be able to do this. And then Elon just interrupted him saying, yeah, but we'll just replace it too. So it can go either way. Yeah.
And I have seen people saying, no, it's impossible. It cannot be done. The connectors are different. Look, if you're buying 100,000 of something, you can get new connectors. That's not an issue. Well, the wiring harness is different. There's solutions. I assure you. If you can fix the Apollo capsule when it's on the other side of the moon, you can update hardware 3 to 4. We have the technology.
Yeah.
So
I'm saying 2027. What are you saying?
I'm saying beyond the horizon. I can't see it. I can't see it. They can't do it today because the remote supervisors required, I assume, have a cost. There is a cost. And in the early days, that cost will be prohibitively high. It would chew through the 8,000 that people paid very quickly. Even the 100 a month, that doesn't cover very much supervisor time. So it would be a money losing prospect. They can't do that. They're not a charity. So I think until it gets down to 100 to 1, 1,000 to 1 on the remote operators, it's going to be unavailable to people outside of the in-house network. And because with the in-house network, you can also say, well, we have, if it's a 100 to 1 or 10 to 1 ratio, we've got 10 cars, we need 1 person. We've got 100 cars, we need 10 people. Dave called in sick, pull 10 cars out. You can't do that with me and you. We'd say, no, pull your own cars out, leave mine in.
Yeah. So it's all about compute. And so by end of next year, remote operators is not going to be a thing, and not required as much as we think it is at that point.
We don't know how quickly we will get from whatever it is today. Today it's abundantly cautious, I assume, and at some point very soon. And my pet theory is it won't kick it to a human to say, hey, what do I do? It'll kick it to Cortex.
Yep.
And that will solve it. That's my thought. Because, having 10,000 times more computing.
You have Grok in the cars, and Grok will be able to see, and they'll be able to understand the world, the real world foundation model. By the end of next year, it's crazy where AI will be at that point and understanding what's going on.
It's so ridiculous, and I'm here for it. I'm excited by it. Guys, in the comments, what did we miss? What do we misunderstand? Check out Herbert. See how much brighter you can get. It's going to be fun. Everybody else, stay tuned, stay juicy, and I cannot wait to hear from you clever robots this very weekend in Muskegon, Michigan, where I will be hosting a number of panels with Sandy Monroe, Jordan Giesecke, Dr. Know-It-All, Josh West, 24/7, Bearded Tesla Guy, Teslatino, too many more to name. It's going to be fun, and I'll see you there.